Okay, let's be real. Have you ever asked ChatGPT for something and the response you get back just makes you think, that is not what I wanted at all? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. It's probably the number one frustration with these amazing AI tools. But today, we're going to fix that. We are diving into a really simple but super powerful method to get the results you actually want every single time. Let's do this. So here's the game plan. First up, we'll talk about why most prompts just kind of fall flat. Then I'm going to introduce you to the perfect prompt framework method and its two main parts. After that, we'll level things up with a pro tip called delimiters, look at two different ways to handle big tasks, and finally, we'll see how this whole thing becomes your new AI superpower. All right, section 1, the common prompting problem. To get better answers, we first have to figure out why we're getting bad ones. And here's the secret. The AI isn't a mind reader. It's really not trying to get it wrong. I mean, we've all been there, right? You ask for a killer marketing slogan and it writes you a weird poem about sunsets. You ask it to summarize some data and you get a history lesson on ancient Rome. It's that moment where you just want to throw your hands up and say, what is going on? And this question right here from Jonathan Mast, he's the guy who created the framework we're talking about today. This is the whole thing. He heard people ask this over and over and had a realization. The problem isn't the AI. It's how we're asking. So let's be super clear. The tool isn't broken. And, buying one of those giant lists with 1,000 pre-made prompts, that's not the answer either. It's kind of like buying a dictionary and expecting to suddenly speak fluent French. Sure, you have the words, but you don't know how to put them together to make a sentence. It's a Band-Aid, not a long-term skill. The real goal here is to become an AI whisperer, not just someone who collects prompts. It's all about learning a new method, a new way of communicating so that your instructions are so clear that the AI has no choice but to nail it. And that brings us right to the solution, the perfect prompt framework. This isn't about luck, it's a method built for one thing, repeatable success. Yeah, forget about any kind of magic wand. This is all about structure. It's a system you can learn one time and then use absolutely everywhere. Whether you're on ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, you name it. Consistency, that's what we're after. So what is it exactly? Well, think of it as a recipe for making your requests. It's designed to give the AI three crucial things. First, crystal clear instructions. Second, all the necessary background context. And third, a repeatable structure that leads to consistent results no matter what you're trying to do. Okay, so how does this thing actually work? Let's get into it. It all comes down to two simple foundational pillars. This is the heart of the whole method, and honestly, it's refreshingly simple. That's it. Seriously, just 2 steps. First, you tell the AI who to be. You give it a role. Second, you give it all the background info and context it needs for the job. It sounds simple, right? But believe me, the effect is absolutely massive. I love this analogy from Jonathan Mast. Asking a vague question is like being dropped into a library the size of Texas with no map. You're just lost. But when you assign a role like you are an expert copywriter specializing in viral social media posts, you're literally handing the AI a map. It instantly knows, okay, I need to go to this section of my massive brain and ignore all the other stuff. So you've got the basic 2-step framework down. Now let's level it up. We're going to talk about a little technique that takes your prompts from pretty good to surgically precise. And that technique uses something called delimiters. I know, it sounds a little technical, but it's not at all. It just means using simple characters, like triple quotes or even a few dashes, to create clear sections in your prompt. Think of them like dividers in a binder, just for the AI's instructions. Just look at the difference here. The before prompt is, well, it's a jumbled wall of text. The AI might figure it out, but it also might get confused. But the one on the right, using those triple quotes as delimiters, is perfectly organized. The AI knows exactly what the topic is, what the goal is, and what the tone should be. There's just no room for it to get confused. So why is this so effective? Well, delimiters create that clean separation, which just drastically cuts down on errors. For really complex, multi-part prompts, they're not just helpful, they're essential. And here's a little bonus, they also help protect you from something called prompt injections, which is a way people can try to hijack your prompts. So it's a security thing too. All right, on to our next big strategic decision. What do you do when you have a huge multi-step project? Like, say you want the AI to write an entire blog post from scratch. You've basically got two options, the mega prompt or the prompt chain. Okay, so a mega prompt is just one giant instruction list. You throw everything in at once. And look, sometimes it works, but for really complex things, it can get a little shaky. A prompt chain, on the other hand, is a series of smaller, more focused prompts. First, you ask for the blog post outline. Once you like that, you ask for the introduction. Then you ask for section 1. It's way more reliable because each step builds on the last successful one. Plus, if something goes wrong, it's so much easier to fix just one small part. So let's pull all of this together. What does this all mean for you, day to day? Well, it means you get to go from being frustrated by the AI to being empowered with the AI. And this right here is the biggest shift. When you use the perfect prompt framework, you fundamentally change your relationship with AI. You stop being a passive user who's just kind of hoping for a decent result. Instead, you become the director. You are telling the AI exactly what to do, who to be, and how to do it. You are in the driver's seat. And this is why this is such a big deal. Learning to prompt well isn't just some neat tech trick. It's truly becoming a core communication skill for the future. Just like learning how to write a good email was 20 years ago, or how to give a clear presentation, it's that fundamental. By getting the hang of this simple two-step framework and maybe sprinkling in some delimiters, you're not just getting better AI outputs, you're unlocking a whole new level of creativity and productivity. The only limit, really, is your own imagination. So, now that you have the tools to get exactly what you want from AI, what are you going to create?